this is going to be all over the place, I'm afraid, more than usual. Sorry it's late. This is my video about the location of where little Claire Bell was found. Now, it's all rather confusing because, let me show you something. So, according to ChatGPT, this is the road she was found. It said in one of these fields here, and this is the area where the dog was found and near where the shop her mother ran into. Now, they're very similar, these road systems, so that's interesting to remember, that they're both sort of looped road systems. Anyway, right, so I've tried to save everything, gone through it all to show you my matches. I already did a map search video of locations that weren't relevant to where she was found, but relevant to the cards that came up. So this one is going to be relevant to the location she was actually found. Right, how am I going to do this? Because it's quite a jumble. Let's probably read. So it says here, she had been missing since... Who's December the 21st? Around Bethany Church Road and Wilson Lake Road. Oh, this is somebody else. But they've just put it under her case. Oh, I need to look into that. But that is strange because, I'll tell you why. Remember that? Church and Wilson. Because this came up. So is this another little girl who went missing in the same area at some point? Because look, church and where was it? Oh, no. I did have it. Excuse my personal pictures there. Here. That came up on the spirit box for Claire's case. Wilson. But it was actually talking about somebody else then. Ooh, how strange. Right, anyway, back to Claire's case. So I had two lots of crossroad cards come up. This one and this one. So if we look back to the road where she was found, it does in fact have a crossroads over the top. Then we've got wooded tree, another wooded card. Now remember that because some articles mention a wooded area and some don't. Oh, see, look. I've saved it twice. This is where I get confused. So some articles mention a wooded area and others don't. So what have we got here? She had a little lunchbox with her when she was found, which could explain why she was able to survive on her own for 3 days. So, remember, wasn't that one? Oh, yes, here it is. The 3 card came up. So, I believe it was 3 nights she was there and 4 days. The farmer lady from St Albert came forward shortly after police published her description. Now, I heard there was a farmer man and a woman. So, anyway, older woman card came up. And also the man. So I'll keep that man card because one article says it's a woman and a man. A tractor's going past. Just as I said about farm. Right, found alive and well near an Ontario highway. Ontario. So that'll be why we had the road card. So this was ChatGPT, and I asked it for landmarks. St Albert Cheese Cooperative. It's a short drive south into the village. Right, unfortunately, I haven't got my original map search video because I'm trying to transfer everything to a external hard drive and it wiped it. So I'm really annoyed. It wiped loads of my stuff, but you can trust me. So this was what I picked out on my map search. That's there. I picked that out. What? I was just mainly like, oh, that's interesting. Didn't realise that's where she was. Zoom in on the Castleman St Albert interchange. So, or Castleman. Watch this. Castleman. I was looking around that area. I've circled it now today. I didn't circle it then. Oh, those are the twin loop ramps in that picture, the ones that look like an infinity symbol. So apparently she was inside of that loop on the road. This is an old picture of the road. This is what ChatGPT gave me. So apparently she was inside one of those loops in the field. Highway 417 is the wide diagonal road running across the image. St Albert, the small community beside it, lies to the northeast of the highway. Right, I would call those loops rings, so that's why that's come up. So highway, obviously. Oh yes, I had picked that out. I started trying to do a street view, but I'm no good at them, so I gave up. So I'd picked that out. 417. Um. So yeah, flat wooded area. Some have mentioned woods, others haven't. Ring, that could be that loop on the road. Look for a looping ramp. Loop, ring. So that's the farmer woman. Apparently the mother spoke to the farmer woman. So did she confide in her? Some people think so. And that she might have talked her into looking after the girl. We're yet to find that out. Three. Three is important for lots of reasons. She's 3 years old. She was there for 3 days. She was found at 3 o'clock. Um, Here we go. So when I asked where she was, ChatGPT said, and I asked for landmarks, it said nature and recreation spots. La Rose Forest is nearby, so this will be why all the woodland area cards came up, and the tree. And there's a recreation trail. St Albert settlement. I'd picked out St Albert on the map. Um, exact field location. Yeah, this is just east of Castleman, St Albert. So I'd picked out both of those areas. Here's another old picture. Now, I'd picked out Lake Street, which has got nothing to do with it. It's nowhere near there. But you'll see why that's kind of relevant in a minute. Now, I don't know why I picked that out and whether that's part of that looped road. Don't know. So, family, that's possibly the farming family. Obviously, this one was telling us she was going to be found. Great happiness. Family again. Dumped. Ignore the bottom bit. I thought this was about mother's marriage, but no, she dumped that poor little girl in a field because she told the police, Mummy told me to wait here. So she hadn't lost her. Church. A lot of these places have got Saint in front of the names. Saint Albert, for example. So that's church. That's to do with church. It's religious. Road. Yeah, this is my map search. I don't think that's the same road, but I think that's where the dog was. Where the farmer was interviewed, and it sounds like the farmer contacted authorities. Blah, blah, blah. This person finds the timeline a little confusing. I find all of this confusing, and the locations and everything. How the child survived 4 days and 3 nights alone, basically in a field, is a miracle. So on Wednesday, police said they were looking to speak to a woman who lived and worked on a farm, who they believe met the child's mother. So that's the woman card. So we must wonder, did she look after her? Oh, that's about the birthday cards that I got. Yeah, I'm waiting for Mum. She told me to wait. So that's weird. How did she sit there like all through the night for 3 nights and not be terrified? The child was in the woods since Sunday. That'll be the Sunday card. Yep. The little girl also apparently told investigators that her mother dropped her off there and told her to wait for her. So she did dump her. That's why the dump card came up. Here we've got Saint Joseph. Again, that's religious. The church card. Oh, this is what I wondered, if this was the souvenir shop. Yep, Highway 417, St Albert Road. That's why I said, oh, is that why I took that picture. I heard Cornwall mentioned. That jumped out to me because my best friend lived in Cornwall, UK, and I did hear Cornwall mentioned, and I had gone towards that on my map search. Yep, here it was again where I picked it out. This was somewhere I picked out on my map. Yeah, that is the same road, 417, look. That's where I picked out Castleman, I showed you that earlier. And that, so that's literally where she was. Yeah, Cornwall. I don't know if someone's pinned that. Is that where she actually was? I did the yellow circle earlier to show where I spotted Cornwall. But is this... someone pinned that? Because I didn't. Yeah, wandering along the side of a highway, which is why I got the road card. Here, someone here says she was wandering along the side of a highway. Some say she was wandering along the side of the highway. Some say she was in a wooded area, and some say she was in a field. So, which is it? So that's that. So as you can see, a few of those cards were correct, and I literally had picked out the road and this St Albert area, and the fact that oh, sorry, it's so hot here, and the fact that she'd been dumped there, that she was going to be found and everyone was going to be happy. And that there was going to be mention of a woman, the farmer woman. So, yeah, I'm really sorry I lost the actual map search video. I'm going to try and do a recovery on my hard drive. I should be able to get it back, and then I'll post it.